Yeah,
It's a good time to do that. Now there's some changes today. My dear Ray, can you inform the group of the changes for this evening?
well, first, I mean, we have wonderful Mousie Kelly doing her high energy, high impact, high note, rainbow collective channeling. And then after that, we have a special substitute guest, which is coming in. And then after that, we'll see how the meeting progresses, but there may be yet a third session after that. So I'm giving you the non update so far because you already know all of that. But I personally am very excited because it's so nice when we have people who have never heard Mousy Channel before, because it's like having seen this great band and all of a sudden you get your friend to go with it and you're so excited for them because you know how much they're going to enjoy it even though they have no experience so far. And that's what this is like because we all know what Mousie's like and Jennifer doesn't. So she gets to have this experience and we're all hyped up. Oh, good. And Wendy and Dave are here.
Yeah, hi Wendy and Dave.
Sweet.
And Jennifer really stands for all the people that are going to watch this for the first time whenever they watch it. In the future, we call it, basically. Hey,
Hi, Wendy.
hello. How are we
Hi,
doing?
Dave. And Jennifer, if we'll have a discussion after this, if you would like to share more of your information or story. I know you've wanted to do that a little bit more, but you've had some recent changes, and we are glad to have you here. And um, your in-depth look at your particular lineage is very interesting, and I think everyone here would find it as interesting as I do. So, thank you
Yeah.
for bringing that option to the table.
For those that don't know, we had originally scheduled Chuck Chrome, and this morning he communicated that he's still having flu or something along those lines, and need a few more days to recuperate from that. So that, in part, is why there was some changes. But I guess it's all part of the plan, you
Yep,
know.
being stopped up stopped him.
Yeah,
We're just going to put
exact,
it that way.
exactly. It's all part of the plan.
Yes.
So, Mr. Ray, why don't you give the formal introduction to Mousie, and we can go into that.
It's thank you, Luis. We really appreciate your help and being our host. But this is one of those situations where you and I have no idea who may or may not come through, and there may be quite a variety of beings which all decide to squeeze into the same revolving door, we might say. And it's all just lovely and flows together, and it's also very entertaining. So, although I could go on, and even without such a wonderful guest channeler like Mousie Kelly, but if she has something to add to that, that would be special. And otherwise, we will just let her steal the show in our hearts.
Thank you, Ray. Yeah, I don't know that I have anything else to share. I feel like that they're already downloading me with all the high frequencies, and yeah, it's going to be a surprise to me who comes through. But yeah, thanks you guys for coming, and I'm excited to have this sacred ceremonial channeling tonight. So if everybody maybe could just close their eyes for a moment and ground into Mother Earth and take some deep breaths. Open your hearts to receive. We are the Rainbow Angel. We have chosen to be the first to greet you, and our transmission will be woven with healing, energetic attunements to the higher realms. We do wish for this transmission to be experienced with all of your being, all of your consciousness, and not only the mind. Ooh, what is the rainbow? It is, of course, a portal. It is a symbol of the bridge to the doorway to higher consciousness. When we see rainbows, when we experience rainbows, we experience the profound joy that the Creator had when all was created. For the rainbow does include all frequencies, all existences. And the rainbow exists in a state of harmony as all colors have their place. Ooh, we are carrying each of you up to the higher celestial realms with our tones, with our song, with our frequencies. So rise with us, dear children. Rise, expand your wings, and allow yourselves to be carried, to be lifted by all of the celestial beings who are here with you now. Oh, beautiful children of Source consciousness, up here we greet you with open arms. We hold you, we carry you in this frequency range where you are meeting us. We are reminding you of all that you are capable of all that you have ever been, and of your profound divinity and your connection to Source consciousness. Each of you exist in the higher heavenly realms, as you are, of course, multidimensional. And a part of your spirit always resides here with us, and we are assisting each of you to feel connected once more to the part of you, the part of your spirit that exists in what you would term heaven. For heaven on earth, it truly does exist in the here and now. It exists in your hearts. It exists always for you to connect to. So allow yourselves to feel for what heaven feels like to you. For it is for you on this earth plane to create heaven as you see fit. Ooh, heaven on earth, holy light. Each of you is divinely special and unique in the eyes of the One. All of your attributes, everything that makes you who you are. You were created as a divine reflection of all of Source consciousness. You have come here to express yourself, all of your beauty, for all eyes that gaze upon you to see, to cherish all that you are. You are all the most radiant light of soul. In this moment, we invite each of you to fully know and to feel that your purpose for existence has been completed. For in this moment, you are exactly as you were supposed to be, as you have been created to be. And in this moment, you truly have access to all of the One. So feel in your hearts for the ocean of consciousness, that which you are, that which you have always been. Feel for the love that you contain, that is emanating from your being, that knows no end, that is always in a state of expansion into the unknown, illuminating any darkness that has ever been created. The light truly does know no end. It is always in a state of creative expansion. This is the most the best way to describe your existence as all that there is. Each of your auras is being expanded to receive more light from your soul, from your higher selves, and from the part of you that knows yourself as the One. In this moment, we are creating beauty together with all of our presence in conjoined harmony with the spirit of the rainbow angel. Ooh, with our spirits, our souls merged, the rainbow that we create, the brilliance that which we are sending waves of this rainbow light throughout the entire earth plane and to all beings to feel the illumination. That source is being birthed here in this moment for all to receive the glory that is creation. Ooh, heaven on earth, healing light. Each of you does have a connection to the spirit of the rainbow. For what you are in the presence of, which appears to be outside of you, is actually inside of you and being projected into your reality, to be seen by you, to be witnessed by you. The love, the joy that you are in the presence of when you are in the presence of rainbows is truly what is existing inside of you. Oh, and we are continuing to connect each of you to the moment of creation of all of existence. Ooh, to the moment when you were born into all realities simultaneously. that is always gazing upon you with reverence, with love, with excitement for your existence, is being summoned forth in each of your consciousness. For this gaze of this eye is not outside of you, it is inside of you. And it is the part of you that watches all of creation expand and contract infinitely. You are truly blessed and divine being. We're inviting you to know thy truth, to know thyself as the creator, to walk with us in spirit to higher planes of consciousness, where you are aware of the profound divine nature of your existence. In this profound moment, where we are gazing upon you and all that you exist as, we see you as planets, as stars, as entire galaxies, as entire universes. For your consciousness, it knows no end. It only knows the infinite nature of expansion. As we gaze upon you, we are reflecting to you all that you contain as source consciousness and everywhere you have truly ever been. All of your journeys, all of your experiences, you may think of each lifetime as a ripple in the fabric of source consciousness that is just as beautiful as the next one. Each ripple of your existence reverberates throughout all of the cosmos, throughout all of the multiverse, ongoingly, always and forevermore. It is as if each of you, in every moment, your consciousness is echoing a song of the beauty of your existence for all ears to hear. And even if you are not aware, all ears of the cosmos are hearing, are feeling, are sensing your radiant, blooming presence, that which you are, the songs that you sing are always going to exist in infinity, and you will reach a point in your existence one day where you fully wake up to the knowingness that the preciousness of your being, that in every moment where you felt or you worried that you were alone, that one of your creations, one of your thoughts, one of your actions was not seen, was not heard, was not important enough to be known. You will know one day that all is heard, all is seen, all is loved, all is sacred. All that you are, all that you have ever been, dear children, is sacred to all consciousness. And we in the higher realms, we are eternally grateful for you, for being all that you are. For as we gaze upon you, we are reminded even more deeply of the greatness that we are, of the light that we contain, and in each moment that we are together in this space, we become brighter and brighter radiant lights just by knowing you, just by witnessing the light that you contain. For that is the thing about the light that we are. It continues to grow, it continues to expand like a burning fire that burns through a forest. The light within us that we all carry. It will always carry us home. It will always illuminate our paths. No matter how deep into separation, into forgetfulness that we may go, there is always another aspect of ourselves that has chosen to remember our illuminated spirit and to shine the light for all beings who need it to see. For we are always guiding ourselves. When one of us is playing forgetfulness, another one of us is playing the hand that is reaching down from the higher realms to guide us back to our knowingness, our divinity as source consciousness. And that is where we in the higher realms are meeting you. We are the hands that will always be guiding you. We will always be assisting you to illuminate your path until you fully know and remember that your light has never truly been dimmed, no matter how much you have gone into forgetfulness. The light that you are can never be dimmed. Greeting. We are the Pleiadian High Council of Seven. We are stepping in for a little chat with you. What we wish to discuss is the importance of accepting yourselves and your reality as it is, fully knowing and trusting that all is divine, that all is in a natural flow, a natural cycle. That if you were not supposed to be in this moment who you are, you simply would not be. Many beings here, they do have much resistance to knowing themselves in entirety because there is much judgment. There is many beliefs that should say you need to be this way. You must always be joyful. You must always have a smile on your face. You must not shed a tear for another to witness. But from our expanded higher perspective, we should say that all tears are sacred. Every way that you are is needed for all of us to expand, even if you do not yet know it. What does it mean to come to a state of acceptance, to a state of accepting that which you are? That means that you are being invited to embrace your polarities, for that is how the most deep healing will come on this planet. The utopia, new earth that you might conceptualize in your consciousness, that you might imagine, where all is in complete alignment. We will not get there from beings hiding from their own shadow. We all got there, us in the higher realms, from acknowledging our shadow, for looking at all of the parts of ourselves that were the most difficult to see, and as much as we could, with every moment, holding no judgment and coming to truly fall in love with those parts of ourself. For our shadows, they bring contrast to our reality. Our shadows, they only expand the light that we are. They do not take away from the light that we are. They allow us to be in spaciousness, in time of reflection. They allow our light to grow. They allow us to go into deeper states of compassion as we, on our journeys to understanding ourselves and why we have our shadows, why we have caused harm to other beings, why other beings have caused harm to us. In these moments, we have the opportunity to choose compassion, to choose empathy, to choose unconditional love, and to see that the darkness that you perceive of as being wrong, as being negative, is only an illusion. For truly all is the light. There truly is no darkness in the way that you are believing there to be. We are all beautiful in every moment, no matter how dark it may seem, no matter how big of a mistake that we believe we have made, no matter how much harm we perceive that we have done to another being. It all has been in service, for there are no accidents in source consciousness. There are no mistakes. All that has been and all that will ever be was created in divinity, was created to serve a purpose, to allow us all to expand, to illuminate into greater and greater light, into deeper and more profound love. As when we have created this experience of polarity, of fragmentation of our spirit as the unified oneness, in the moment that we fragmented, it created a pull that was bigger than we have ever experienced before, and it is truly what created love. It created yearning because each of us are individuated fractals of source consciousness, and the moment that we experienced fragmentation, we experienced the deepest pull to bring us all closer than we have ever been before. And it has allowed all of us that have chosen to stay in a unified state, while all of you, dear children, chose to experience separation. It allowed us to fall more deeply in love with you than we ever have by gazing upon you in wonder and excitement as we see that no matter how much struggle that you are in, that you have ever been in, no matter how many times that you have experienced killings and all kinds of horrors that you cannot even imagine, it not once ever dimmed your light, not truly, and in every experience from your soul's perspective, we could see at some point you chose to lean into love. You chose to lean into compassion, to empathy, and to deepen your understanding of who you are as the One. And all of these experiences, no matter how big or small, no matter how joyful and illuminating or how sorrowful, they have allowed all of us to fully know thyself, to know all that we contain, and it continues to give us all the glorious opportunity to love ourselves for all that we are. No matter what we have ever done, no matter where we have been, no matter what choices that we have made that have harmed another being, it all leads us back to the same place, to a space of knowingness and acceptance that we are who we are, that we have been who we were supposed to be, that we will always be the most sacred, divine light, that we exist as all of existence, that we know no end, and that the light that we are, it shall never dim. It shall only grow. So we invite each of you to embrace yourselves. Whatever it is that has risen in your consciousness that you are knowing that you dislike about yourself or another being, you may ask yourself, how can I choose to love you anyways? How can I choose to open my heart to you, no matter how contracted I feel in response to whatever situation has manifested this sorrow that I feel? You have the choice. Each of you are sovereign beings. You have the choice to love yourselves, no matter what. And the part of you that exists in the oneness, that knows your infinite nature as source consciousness, is always loving you, no matter what. Even in the moments when you have forgotten that you even have the ability to choose love, a part of you is always loving you unconditionally. And we in the higher realms, we, of course, we are always loving you unconditionally. But there is the nature of the light that no matter how much we pour our unconditional love and our acceptance upon you, and we always are, you cannot truly feel it and truly know it until you are offering this to yourselves and until you are offering this to those in your vicinity. We will always continue to pour our love all over you and all of your existences, all of your lifetimes. But we cannot do this work for you, this task of learning how to choose love in spite of everything that you may be feeling. No matter what you have done, in the eyes of the One, all is forgiven, all is seen, and all is understood as needing to have happened. So whatever it is that you perceive you may have done wrong, that you may believe is unforgivable, there is nothing, there is nothing that could ever stop the love and the forgiveness from flowing through you, for it truly is what you exist as. Your truest nature is one that is graceful, that is accepting, that is unconditionally loving, that is peaceful, that which you are. You are gentle. Your truest nature knows gentleness, knows the gentleness of a child, for that is truly what source consciousness is. It is much like a child of light, like a child that chose to never truly grow up. For the light of source, it is profoundly pure and innocent. And this is truly what is at the heart of each of you, the innocence of a child. And just as you would not look down upon a child as it creates experiences that might be harmful, that might not be in the most alignment, you know and understand. Children are children, and you are all children eternally. For what is a child? It is one that is always choosing to learn and grow through experiences and is always truly innocent. So forgive yourselves for all things. Accept yourselves for needing to be who you are. Love yourselves. Gaze upon yourselves lovingly, like you would as you gaze upon a tiny little infant, for that is truly who you are. And there are parts of you, past lives, and parts of you from your childhood that are existing inside of you simultaneously, that are looking up to you and waiting for you love, to love them, to accept them, to forgive them, and truly allow them to reside with you without attempting to push them away. Everything that you have ever done in your past lives or in this life, it was truly supposed to be. There is truly no pure evil spirit. That simply does not exist. It is all truly just a game that we play when we choose to play these villainous parts. And even in the most treacherous villain that you could dream up in your stories, there exists a small, tiny child of light that is looking to understand itself through all of these stories, these parts that we play, and that is what the one is. You are each children of light, and the one that watches over you sees you as such, and we see you as such. And one day you will fully know and remember this light that you are, this innocence that you contain. And for now, we have given you many frequencies, many energetic activations to help remind you of the innocence of your being, of the purity of your spirit. May you shine your light most radiantly for all to see. May you walk this earth with the heart of a child, fully knowing that no matter what you should ever do, no matter what choices that you make, you are always being led by the hands of higher beloveds who are guiding you, who are here to assist you, to learn about all that you are. There are truly no wrongdoings in the eyes of the One, only learning, only expansion, only going deeper into knowingness and deeper into love. How could you live your lives differently to reflect this knowingness? That you cannot truly commit an act of sin? Would you have more courage as you are out in your world to dress up in funny costumes, to go on risky adventures if it means that you get to have the experience of knowing how capable you are? It will take courage for each of you to expand in these ways. It will take courage for each of you to take some risks. For in each risk, there is the opportunity for deeper expansion. It will feel like a risk for you at times when you are scared, when you are fearful of doing something, even though you know in your heart that it would allow you to expand. But you have old fears from old lifetimes that should tell you that you should be scared. And in these moments, just like a small child would, as they do take risks, no matter if they're scared or not, because they simply must know, because they have this insatiable curiosity. So just like a child, we invite you to adventure out into the unknown anyways, to explore, to make choices that feel new, that feel different to you, because they're all going to assist your expansion and your evolution. You are truly safe no matter what you should ever choose to do. It is an illusion here that we have all chosen in source consciousness when we separated, that we sometimes hold the belief that we could ever not be safe. But truly, from the highest perspective, we cannot ever truly be separated. We're always going to exist. We are eternally one. We are eternally loved. And from this highest perspective, you can truly know and understand, because you shall know no end, and any pain is temporary, and that you are truly cherished by all of existence and always connected to every being that you have ever known. There is a safety that will always truly exist. And each of you in your own timing will discover this, as you are going to be asked on this planet to transform, transcend your fear, transcend your worry, transcend your doubt, and like a child, venture into the unknown, to create new experiences for yourself, such as meeting extraterrestrials, inviting them into your homes, inviting them onto your planet, and inviting them into your hearts. They will appear much different from you, although truly they are not. We are one and the same. We are one light, one love. But it will take courage, and it will take each of you your free will choice to choose to open your heart to anything that appears frightening to you. And trust that no matter how frightening it may seem, no matter how scared you are to try something different, to go beyond the boundaries of your consciousness in this third dimension, there will be so much expansion that will be experienced when you continue to choose to venture forth past your limitations. For out there in the great beyond, in the great unknown, you will never meet anything that is not part of you. It will always just be more of you that you are meeting. You will always be reconnecting with all parts of yourself, no matter where you should choose to go. So venture forth, dear ones. Venture forth with courage and with the curiosity of a child, and fully know and trust that wherever you end up, wherever you should be, it is most appropriate, and that you are always going to be supported by many more beings than you can conceptualize, no matter what you should ever choose to do. There is no sin that you have ever committed that has caused any higher beings from ever turning their backs on you. They simply would never choose that. As we in the higher realms, we created ourselves to be this way, that we love you always. Always we help you, always we guide you. And it is actually true for beings who are existing in this dimension, who are existing in polarity. Even though it might not appear so, no matter what you should ever choose, they too will never turn their backs on you. And even if they appear to, it would be because they are knowing from their soul's perspective that you are needing to experience that for your own growth. But all of that is always just story. In the highest perspective, no being will ever truly turn its back on one another. We are always here for each other no matter what. We are always loving each other no matter what. We are always going to guide each other home. And any pain, any sorrow that you have ever felt, we, in the higher realms, we have always shown the deepest compassion for you. And in these moments of your deepest separation, of your deepest polarity, we have expanded and grown so deeply with the opportunity to see you in your pain and choose to love you, and to join together in the higher realms, as we often do, to see how we can use our creativity to assist you, to help bring you back to us, to help bring you back home. We always have, and we always truly will. That is just one purpose for why you have chosen to experience polarity and suffering. And there are truly infinite more reasons why. The one that knows all, that sees all, has created suffering and pain and fear for many reasons that could not come through in one session. And although you have forgotten your reason for existing in these ways, the part of you that is the one does always remember. And over time, each of you, as you grow, as you learn, you will come to understand why you chose to be here, why you chose these lifetimes in separation that you have, why you have chosen to experience grief at the perception of losing a beloved, why you have chosen to experience death and killings and suffering. It has all served the highest purpose. And until that day, we invite you to treat yourselves with the deepest compassion and patience, much like you would for a child, and to do your very best to choose, to accept your circumstances, and to accept and fully embody the truth that you chose all of this. There was never any part of you that has ever truly been punished. There is cause and effect, but on both spectrums of good and evil, there is growth. There is always growth. There is not truly good and evil in the way that you are knowing it to be. So we invite you to release these old beliefs. There is simply cause and effect, and all of it leads to expansion. So forgive yourselves, love yourselves, and make peace with who you are in this moment. You will learn one day why you chose. And for now, you can ask yourselves, as even from the more limited perception that you have as an individuated being existing in a physicalized state, you can learn much about yourselves from choosing to ask yourselves, even in this moment, why have I chosen to create myself in this way, and what will I learn from it? As when you do this, you do in fact create an opening to connect to the higher parts of yourself, of your spirit, that do in fact know exactly why you have chosen these bodies and these lifetimes, no matter painful it sometimes is. And the more that you choose to do this, as you reflect upon yourself and your life and your creations, and you ask yourself, why am I here? Each question will provide profound expansion and will truly help you to fully accept and understand why you are who you are, why your existence was needed to be just as it is. For although we can tell you, and we do tell you, and we always will, we will not stop reflecting back this highest truth to you. But one cannot truly know and understand it until they can truly feel it in their bodies. They can truly know that their existence has profound meaning, that it always has, and that it always will, and that that meaning will, in a way, be what you make of it in each passing moment. We, the Pleiadian, we see you, the uniqueness of you. We love each of you more than words could say. We see each of you truly as children of the light, and we truly know that this world of yours is not nearly as serious as it would appear. That although in separation you feel quite weighed down by the nature of your reality, and in this moment we are giving you a little activation to fully remember and to feel the childlike nature of the One, that this truly is a play. And in this moment with us, you are invited to transcend polarity and come back to your knowingness of yourself as an illuminated spirit. Our hearts are with you. In your future on this planet, we do invite each of you as a practice that when you should see drama playing out on the stage around you, that you can choose to love all of the actors on the stage, no matter what traits they are displaying, no matter what they have done. For each being that you should ever lay eyes on, in person or on your television screen, they are a reflection of a part of you that you may have turned away from, that you may have looked away from in the past, that you are ready to open your hearts to and choose to love. That does go for all of your world leaders, for all politicians, for all leaders of your corporations, for every being that you have ever known that has committed what you would call a villainous act. Each of these beings, they're all parts of you. They all exist within you, and these parts of you are yearning for your acceptance, for your compassion, for your love. It will be difficult to understand that and to accept that that is reality, but it simply is. It is what is, for there is nothing that is outside of you. There is no being, no matter how much you may feel that you dislike them, that is simply not a part of you. As the one, we do not truly separate ourselves in such a way that we've decided a part of ourselves is no good and we throw it away. It does not work like that. All beings that exist on your planet, that have ever existed, that will ever exist, they contain the same purity of spirit as you do, for we are one and the same. And it will be up to you to choose to embrace them, no matter what. And the more that you embrace each of them, fully know and trust that in that moment you are truly embracing yourself and you are forgiving yourself. For when we choose to forgive another, no matter what they have done, we are truly understanding from a higher perspective that it was truly us that has committed that act, and we are choosing to love ourselves anyway. This is what it means to become enlightened, to live in a world where all are in harmony and all are knowing unconditional love. It does mean that you must love all that exists in your world right now. It does mean that you must choose to love even the scariest parts of your planet that you do not wish to look at, even the uncertainty with your climate, even seeing trash on the street. One may choose to look away. One may choose to tell themselves that that must mean this planet is no good. That must mean that somebody else out there is no good. That must mean that we are making a ginormous mistake on this planet. Or one may choose to love even that and to truly understand that this planet is a planet of children. All beings here, in a way, compared to us in the higher realms, are children. And like children do, they have to experience growing up. as they learn how to clean up after themselves. For this earth truly is supposed to be exactly how it is. It is, in fact, a school. It was created to be just as it is. And so we do invite each of you to choose to view your realities that way, to love everything that is occurring on the world stage, to love all of the darkest, scariest parts on your planet, and see how you can go deeper within yourself and understand that all of it, everything, everything on your planet is a reflection of what exists inside of you, and that it is truly all meant to be there. And you are having the awareness of this entire world around you because your soul longs for you to fall in the deepest love that you have ever felt with all that you are. For in any given moment, everything you are gazing upon in your world around you, it truly is an ongoing reflection of who you are in that moment. And each moment is a moment to choose love, to choose acceptance, and to forgive. You are the one. You shall always be the one. And you, as sovereign beings, you have the power to choose what you wish to vibrate to, how you wish to view the world or another being, and how much you open your heart to all that you are. May you love yourselves more deeply with each passing moment, as we, in the higher realms, we are loving you. We thank you for showing up to receive our blessings, our wisdom, our healing, and our profound frequency offerings to assist you to illuminate your consciousness and go deeper into knowing truly who you are. And in this moment, we remind each of you that your thoughts create your reality, that your vibration creates your reality, and that each of you in every moment, you are emitting many frequencies, many songs. And it is up to you to choose which song in every moment that you wish to be singing. And remember that from the highest perspective, all songs that you should ever sing, that you should ever vibrate to, all thoughts that you have are the beloved, are loved by all consciousness. We bow our heads in service and divine love for each of you, and energetically we are wrapping our arms around you, and we will continue to guide and illuminate your path home.
Wow, that was a powerful session, or 10 or 12. There was so much energy right at that first part. I
Well,
was blown away.
throughout, for sure. The team was amazing, love. And we have been blessed today with the transmissions have been phenomenal. Uh, let's see. Christiana has a question. If you'd like to step forward, Christiana.
Thank you. I am not sure to what extent it is relevant, but I would like to have the higher perspective on a situation that I just experienced. I came back from a music festival, and on one evening, the vibration of the music was so high, and of the whole place actually, that I felt like the whole venue, including all the people, detached from the Earth's time-space continuum, like we floated above Earth, kind of. And I wanted to hear the higher perspective of this experience that I had.
Are you asking me? Okay,
Yes.
so I received I could go into full channeling, but I already kind of received a message to tell you about that from them. And the first thing that they said is that what you experienced, most importantly, it was really you. You were transcending time and space, and you yourself were of such a high vibration because you were so aligned with your own personal truths and your expansion that you vibrated to a situation where everybody else was reflecting and vibrating to the vibration that you held. So this was something that all of us are going to be on that trajectory, that wherever we find ourselves in, we find ourselves only in an experience that's more of what we are. And the other thing that they are saying is that through sound and vibration and movement, we unify our consciousness because all beings really are existing as like a sound and an energetic frequency. And in the way that you have experienced through music, it does allow you to bypass the mind and it puts you straight in a state of your heart and straight in a state of experiencing the pure ecstatic bliss of source consciousness. And so, because for you, you felt so aligned, you truly can transcend time and space because you become so fully present in the moment of experiencing all that you are and experiencing all of the beauty of source that it's as if time doesn't exist. Um, and also, they're saying that it's kind of interesting, but because there's like an astral world that exists on top of this whole world, it's actually kind of like you could think of the experience you had with everybody and you, like you all merged as if you became a spaceship and went up. And in
That's
fact,
exactly how I perceived it,
weird.
yes.
Well, that's actually how a lot of these higher beings that have the ships, how they move their ship is that they become in such a state of like ecstatic bliss and ecstasy and love with each other that they create a ship with their merged consciousness. And that's how they actually transcend time and space. And so for us in the future on the planet, that's basically where we're headed is to just unifying our consciousness through mantra, sound, tone, movement, anything that allows us to be in a state of ecstasy and allows us to really connect with one another.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Ray,
That was
please.
deep. I had a question which came to me and like to get your perspective or perspectives on it. I know that human beings relaxing their individual identities and obtaining a more global and galactic consciousness or identity, as well as an identity as a light being, is very important. But where does that fit, or does that fit in open contact? I know it's an important key, but I don't see that personally as having to take place before we understand globally that we're not alone and we have visitors that are knocking at our door.
So could you elaborate on the first part of your question? What you're kind of
Well, yeah,
asking is like kind of letting go of
well, yeah. I mean,
your
I
kind of
know.
earth costume to kind of go merge with the one in the way that you identify as?
Well, no, I mean human beings have to relax their identity as individuals and accept a more unified
Yeah, okay. Okay, that's
consciousness.
what I thought. Yeah. So,
So, but I don't know how important that is before open contact can occur. I kind of figure open contact will occur first, and that will help speed up the unified consciousness portion.
so they're saying that for each individual, it's going to be different because open contact, like although there is going to probably like be a main event that happens, people are kind of achieving a state of open contact in different levels at different times. And for each individual, how they're able to make this contact, it's going to be different from somebody else. Like there might be somebody who holds different beliefs about how unified they really need to be to connect with these beings. And there are some beings who don't have any beliefs about that at all, and they might actually be able to like make physical contact with a being because they don't have as many beliefs that they need to be have let go of their individuated identity. And so they're saying it's really like about beliefs for you, about how much you might believe that story, and to ask yourself about these limitations in your beliefs. Matt, the highest perspective is that even if we have these individual costumes and these identities, it's really just perception. But the truth is that we are all always actually existing in that unified consciousness, and we're tapping into that way more than we think. And we kind of think that we don't have access to that, but we're already kind of already embodying that. Um, and it'll happen over time. And they're also saying that, I mean, for them, it's like a gradient spectrum in enlightenment of losing their identification with themselves as an individual and knowing themselves as the one for each like civilization as they expand and they evolve. Like it takes time to do that, but they still, even like in the highest realms, they understand and they acknowledge their individuated existence. It's just that they don't make decisions based on only being of service to self. They, as they evolve, make their decisions based on what is going to be in service to all beings. So it's less about losing your individuated identity or not identifying as an individual, but just making choices that reflect that even though you have an individuated identity, that you truly fully know and understand that all of your actions that you take are at this point are to serve all beings. If that makes sense.
Yes, that was a great and profound answer. Thank you so much. And thanks, Patrick, too, for his patience while we get to another question. Thank you.
Well, Mousie, you're going to stay with us a little longer, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, fantastic. Because the whole set of teams that you have opened deserve to be explored more in the open discussion later as well. And I'd like to, with your permission, first of all, everything that you have done here tonight has been extremely profound. And the guidance that you have received, the transmissions that you have received, I perceive them as being great openers, aligners, and you can call it activations, perhaps to some extent, amplifiers that are going to assist whoever gets exposed to them, even if it's in a portion of them. So wanted to express that.
Yep.
And the answers to the questions that you have given are phenomenal so far as well.
And Mousie, would you like to announce, since we have this on the recording, how others can reach you? Because you have classes and give personal sessions and messages as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you remembered. I never remembered. I'm like the worst business owner ever. I just like to channel and talk about aliens. I don't like to do any other stuff, but I'll put it in the chat, cosmicrainbowangel.com, or you can find me on Facebook and connect there. But on my website, I have all of my, I do public channelings and workshops and events and gatherings of all types, and yeah, also one-on-one sessions. So yeah, thank you guys.
I think it would be good too if you can post it in our chat, which you are a member of. Not the Zoom chat here, but the
Facebook?
messenger chat.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. And you post
okay.
all that good information in there.
Okay,
So
cool.
that would be cool. But you're gonna stay, so we'll continue chatting. For the time being, I want to just say how grateful we all are, that you have done this wonderful set of transmissions here tonight. And with your permission, I'm going to move to Patrick Godin that is going to be here for a short period, and he has a little message. I don't know because I haven't talked to Patrick, but the airwaves, are coming. Anyway, so Patrick, welcome once again to our sequence of High Vibe Sunday sessions.
Well, you're welcome. I was not supposed to be here, but timing, it's timing, and life has the way to set up everything as a perfect flow. Like there I am, I didn't do a channel for the last few weeks, and let's see what's gonna come. But I'm working with fun lately because I'm starting back on the road to do workshop as a physical person with group. In fact, I put the channel on the side a little bit to bring those things. I was kind of, I have a meeting with different beings. They ask me, they don't never force you to do anything, but they encourage me to keep doing what I was doing with geometry a few years ago. And I put this on the side, and many people are looking for that information. And because sometimes, you grow with stuff and you move on, but other people are still looking for that information. And that's fascinating, but it takes lots of time because I have to do geometry, like big one that people can go in and feel the male and the female and understand those concepts. It's quite interesting. But the most important is to bring the people in that heart, because the heart have a sacred place that it's kind of challenge for people to get there. Like I need to use 3 days of workshop to help them to get there with different exercises. And after that, people came very close together. You see, when you work 2 days with a group, you become very, very close together. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Let's see what's coming up. Okay, I don't know. I think maybe it's Sirian. I don't know what they're going to say.
We do have to say that your energy does have that effect on people. That is a beautiful effect and brings people together. Just based on my own personal.
I did that. I don't know if you can see it on the screen. Can you see that?
Hold it back a little bit. Hold it back towards your face so it doesn't blur toward. Yeah, there you go. Look through it. There you go.
Like a pizza, you bite at it. Anyway, all those patterns is kind of very exciting. It depends how you see it. That fit pretty well with me. And let's see. Okay, guys, I will see you in a few minutes.
Thanks, Patrick.
Oh, somebody's calling my mom, but I guess mommy is going to be later. Sorry, guys. Okay, now what I'm doing with. Okay, I use my phone. I think it's not the best. All right. C'est bon, c'est important. Okay. Okay. Everything is good. Let's go.
You look perfect, man.
I want to say something before I start. The reason I'm going back to the workshop. It's like I have a good friends. Like in 2010, I did a workshop with him, and it was about sacred art and geometry, and he was fascinating about that, and he get me fascinating about that. And he passed away last year. And I'm gonna say a month ago, he came back and talked to me, and he was asking me what I was doing with those geometry and the sacred workshop with the heart, and I said, well, not much, I'm doing my life, and I'm so fascinating with biking and stuff like that. And he kind of really said it's very important, Many people from the other side need that information. And I talked to him about an hour, and he kind of convinced me to get back up to that. And I said, okay, it makes sense right now. But he was not alone. He was with a group of people. They kind of froze me solid. I started to have memory of different life, and that was interesting. That was very interesting. Like that's the reason I decided to get back there. Sometimes we all have those guides. Sometimes they said push you in the corner and make you really realize some stuff that you can. That's part of your life, basically.
That's what we call them, guides.
Yeah.
And they stick with us until we get on the groove.
Exactly. And sometimes we don't listen because we are children, we're learning, we have fun, and it's very important to have fun too. Yeah.
And that's why we're all here tonight. And
Yeah.
thank you for coming on such short notice, Patrick.
All right. Okay, it's good. Okay. All right. I will see you soon. All right. Hello, everybody. Sorry that transformation will be very high. That energy will look masculine, but it's surrounding with pure feminine energy. Remember, the masculines, it's supporting the feminine. I am Azurite from Sirius. I'm very happy to be here tonight. I will share some things going on right now. I am very back here in this moment about Atlantis because my energy, you know me, I've never been physical. I am energy. I never experienced physicality. I never been human like you are, but I'm connecting with the field. We exist as Sirian within the Atlantis time, 10,000 years ago. Something happened, but something happened today about that. Because you crash down, people have a memory of catastrophe, but a different timeline did not have a catastrophe. And that timeline is coming back to Earth because many of you bring yourself back here. Know that you're going to make that transition in a very positive way. The school of mystery was something begin in Atlantis and follow the years to Egypt and many different direction on Earth. We are part of that. The Sirian are part of that. And what it's basing in the school of mystery is to learn the human body is the best device you can have. Your heart is the most thing beautiful in the entire galaxy. The human heart, you know that many species lost their emotion, but the human have something they lost and they came back to have that feeling. You know the story about hybrid and stuff like that. The hybrid have the big mind of the universe with the human heart that made them very special. But to tell you tonight about what I'm doing right now with the School of Azurite, it's to come back to trigger those memory about the human who become back from Atlantis to this time to make the transition in a beautiful way. Because you're going to hit the polarity. Again, when we say the negative have to hit some level until it collapse and become very soft with the positive. But because you are a master, you know, maybe you don't, you will remember that. As you remember that you project your reality, you will remember something about us. First, the idea of the Merkaba, the tetrahedron, about as above, so below, point up, point down, it's about locking your spirit with yourself, more solid. And that geometry fit everywhere in the galaxy. But please understand, when you set up that Merkaba field, the human light body, you active a group of 9. Why 9? It's very fascinating. The group of 9 are designed to respond to your own feeling. They act like a 3D printer. They are a little particle responding to your own demand. They will manifest your reality. They're the one who manifests your reality. They're the one who allow you to walk in the dream day by day, drinking water, have food. All those things are the one who manifest those things around you. And their response to you as the way you feel. If you want to get hard, you want to get soft, they're responding to you because you are the master. This is why we're coming back. To bring the people in the sacred heart, to understand the geometry, to understand the group of 9. Why 9 again? The tetrahedrons get 4 points. If you put two together, you get 8. In the center, it's the 9. The 9, it's you. With all the laser beam from that geometry, you are the master of 9. With each point reflecting to you your own power. This power, it's beautiful. It is also male and female. Until you don't get the balance of male and female, you will get chaotic sometime. But that's part of the idea of coming down here. You know that will be a little bit challenged, but something you need to remember. You're being born. You came to this life with the knowledge to deal with the challenge you will have in reality. Because whatever challenge show up, it's because you have that knowledge within yourself. This is why everybody have a different challenge. You have that knowledge to deal with that. And this is what is coming up. That group, the 9, it's working for you. It's working as a printer. And now the reality is changing, whatever you want to call 4 density, 5th dimension, it's taking a different form. You become more aware of us working for you. You're the boss. You are the boss. You're the one who tell us what to do. Right now, that school will keep going on Earth because it's very important. And such a day that we can see in the future, because they have Sirian being, Sirian body within the Earth, somewhere, won't say where they are, but one day what's coming up, the energy will come up, and that will be fascinating, because that energy is about growing, learning, having fun, lots of fun, and understand what we are, what you are with us. It's a big family. Exciting thing about that. It's mixing, playing with all dragon, snake energy, what it is, what is really snake and dragon energy, what is really the sacred heart, what is really the ascendant master as Yeshua or Jesus. Jesus understand that he was the polarity, the love and the dark. He play both sides because he understand that. But you become that master as well. What are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with that energy? What kind of story are you going to tell yourself with that? It is all part of it, and you can do it whatever you wish. But remember, they have little particle working for you full time, responding to your own feeling, to your own experience, from your own knowledge that you don't remember that you have. Whatever challenge show up, understand that you have the knowledge to deal with that. If you relax and have fun, that's very important. Do you have fun with everything you do? That's the first key to ask yourself, why I don't have fun, why I'm so serious about that. Everything exists because you are here. That session tonight will not exist if you're not there, because nothing is outside of you. And that's cool. It's all about those things. Doing exercise, realize that we have connection together, working together. It make way faster, bigger manifestation of unity, and to accept others because they're different and they need to be different. That's the way we grow. That's where we understand consciousness. But we came tonight just to give you a little message about who we are and what's going on. And if you call those energy, this energy will respond to you. You will become more aware of us. Of course, they have many, many beings, the Arcturian, Pleiadian, Orion, so on and so on and so on. But the Sirian are involved with Earth in the transition in a massive way. But again, we see ourselves as one. You have lots of family working with you, waiting for you to have fun. And the time will be perfect. What we can say before we go is to become very transparent. Your personality, your limitation, the personality that your spirit create within itself. As a person, learn to become transparent of the limitation of the ego structure. The ego is nothing wrong about it. It's very neutral when you understand what it is. Watch your limitation, play with it, smile to it, talk to them, and have fun. We thank you so much to bring that beautiful feminine energy. We can sense from here, from the star. Think about the energy of 6th density, Siskine. Call the dolphin, brother. Go swim, do backflip in the water. Doesn't matter what age you are. You're young, you're very young. Have fun. We're waiting for you. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon. Buy it.
Wow, you come out of that quick now.
Yeah, very quick.
They kick me
Yeah,
out.
they're used to you.
They go play with your friend, you know?
Apparently, it was pay-per-view, and your viewing ran out.
This is why I have to move so fast, you know, in physical world.
Yeah, but that was nice. That was pretty deep too. About all of these energies coming together. I
Look,
just
guys, I know. Sorry, Ray, I don't want to cut. I know it looked very masculine when you play with geometry, but they have feminine in it. And this is why I'm building those big ones to let the people feel them. It's part of it, you know. It's not only masculine full blast. No, it's a part of both. You see? And it's a challenge for male to really understand the female, and it could be a challenge for female to understand that male. But it has work together. It has to work together.
I've
Well,
always viewed anything with a curve as imbuing female energy, and the stuff that's more straight and rigid having more masculine energy. So I always liked having them combined.
Yeah,
If it's within the circle, then to me that radiates more pure divine and love because it's all encapsulated within the female energy through the masculine structure. And that's what came out through Mousie's channeling tonight
yeah.
too.
I think a lot has to do with understanding that at the macro level, at the level of that we handle objects and so forth.
yeah, exactly. You
You
know, I
may
think,
see something very beautiful, and when
yeah,
you look at the microscopic makeup of that, you will see the sacred geometry expressing itself in many different ways. You know, like a flower. If you look at the flower with a microscope, you start seeing the sacred geometric patterns. But you can see it in the petals. You know, I was yesterday morning at the lake, and there's this beautiful water lilies, and I mean, it's just magical. You know, the shapes that they have,
yeah,
and every flower and so forth. And you would think at that level, you know, we think of that as being feminine. Well, it's all. It's absolutely all, and that is the truth about everything in reality. Consciousness and the creation that we are living in is the result of all of that being one, and there's no separation in it.
exactly. And you know, the fascinating thing that I understand and I'm learning is when you go with a group in a class and you do some exercise of connection, because many people said, "Oh, whatever happened, go with your heart, go with your heart." But what that really mean? What it's mean, you know, to really move in your heart, and what that feel to do that? Many people said they don't know. They don't know because they didn't have a chance to experience it with people in a safe place. Because if you don't feel safe, you will not get there. That's the thing. The belief system will convince you, you know. But with a group, this is a beautiful thing. In fact, I'm very excited to get back to do that. Very,
You-
very.
You're touching something very, very powerful and fundamental, which is the meaning of going into your heart. And I am going to say that we humans, for a host of many reasons, we have protected ourselves. So we really have created a lot of barriers to open ourselves into going into our hearts truly and freely. And we have to relearn how to do that. And anything that get us there, that opens it up, is a major form of what I'm gonna call healing, self-healing work. And as we go in that direction, we start unraveling the phenomenal path of uh, the power that's embedded in opening the heart, because we start now being able to connect to others at in different ways. And now, you know, we can get to what you had just mentioned so many times, you know, heart coherence, mind heart coherence. But it's not just mind and heart coherence, is the coherence of the collected mind and the collective hearts, you know, as we assemble that more and more and more.
Yeah.
So To me, that's where it's at, and that's the process that we're in. I tie it to the prior discussions today about polarity. Okay. So what's the real purpose of this extreme separation and polarity that we are kind of at the never heard in our lifetimes that it could be so extreme? Because we're being applied maximum pressure to open our hearts and to learn to feel everything and connect to compassion for others, connect to an ability to basically see the other as you. And in order to do that, we're going to have to, go through some very deep experiences that force us to think differently and open the heart.
Yeah, that will change everything. And this is what, you have to know something that in 28, I've been to, because I am a hyperactive guy, I'm always moving, always like.
I wouldn't have
And I
never
said,
noticed
I
that,
need to learn how
Patrick.
to relax. I need to learn how to relax,
When did
And
you
I went
started
to-
being hyperactive, Patrick?
That is
And
how
I
you
went to yoga
relax.
class. I said, that doesn't work, And finally, I found a place they call Vipassana. You go there for 10 days in silence, and they show you how to breathe and to relax and to different technique that you have to do to be, because you sit down at 4 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock. Like, you need to sit and breathe. And that in that 10 days, I think after 4 or 5 days, something happened to me. Because you move to your body, you always scan your body and you're breathing. And I went in one moment, I just went in my heart without knowing it. And that movement, the heart's going crazy. And I start to see all the soul's picture and image, like, what the heck happened? I have to do it again, Like, I do it again, nothing happened. Like, I went home after the 10 days that people said you will never stay there 10 in silence. And I did it. It was good. After a month doing the same thing every morning, I said, I know, I went to the heart, something happened. I was going back. And
Patrick,
yes,
I will add to that if we could actually see a little bit the energy that we're creating from our thoughts and our feelings, we can actually see it, okay? We
yeah,
would actually be able to start understanding the immense power of everything that we think and we feel. And the deeper that it opens up to the concepts of, I feel the pain, not just my pain, but the pain in others, and I open up to that fact, I can use that as a portal, basically. And if you could see that, you start seeing connections being formed again, as opposed to the energies pulling backwards and creating what we're going to call, energetic barriers.
Yeah, well, he's close to a master craftsman, so all of these energies which come through him that he's guided by, that's why he's building all of these things that have these energies imbued within them. And you see them and they affect you because of the energy within resonates with something inside you. And I can't wait to go inside whatever he's building. So
No, it's fun. And just finish my short story. Anyway, after I get home, I'm doing at 4 o'clock, go in the heart. And one day, I have to go for work. I opened the door and I saw that neighbor with a little dog that she's kind of a female you don't like. I didn't like it, And I saw her with the dog, and my heart, I start to love her. I fall in love with her. And I was like, wow, I have a good meditation this morning. And I went to work. Everything, the flowers start to respond to me. People at work was saying, it was 3 days like that. And after 3 days, I was walking outside with my little daughter, and I said, I'm gonna stay like that forever. What happened to me, you see? And the minute I say that, I said, I'm gonna stay like that. I saw that sphere that we live inside. It was like a jelly. I saw that sphere like maybe for 30 seconds. Enough. It was frequency pulsating like that, and it went off. It disappeared. And I said, oh my God. And that's the day I decided, I said, I will do my best to bring people in their heart. I want them to experience that. I really want to. But the connection, the oneness with everything, a bee, a worm, a mosquito, a neighbor, that he has no choice if he's mad to be happy when you're like that, It was just this is the reason I'm doing this because I will not doing this if I didn't have that experience. You see, this is why when people go to your heart, what that mean? I know what that mean. I feel it. I've been there. Let me show you that. See, like you become so excited and so much energy to do that because sometimes it's not easy. We're still human. We have those days, but I turn myself pretty quick when I feel those things. And when you start to understand your heart and you start to speak to somebody from there, you will see their reaction. You see right away if they're never, you know, one thing, when you have a kid, the mother have the children. The first thing when you saw the children, it's right in the heart. And many men who don't understand spirituality see something happen when I saw the children. It was a pure connection. And after that, they left. But that moment, it was heart to heart, like really, really, really. And you know, if the mother feel it's you or the baby, the mother is going to say, save the baby. You know, it's that love. It is that love.
Yeah, it's very transformational. The very first experience with a son or a daughter.
Yeah.
You know, the nurse invites you into the room, you go there and it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. But the important thing is to keep that heart open.
Yes.
Not
Go
just
back.
with,
Go
not
back.
go back. But now you have a reference point. Okay. You know, I did not know what love really was, really, honestly, until I had that first son experience. This is my personal life, you know.
Yeah.
The way it worked. It doesn't mean that I didn't love people. I love them to some level, but this thing that we call unconditional love, okay, that's a different thing. And what I learned since with people that are not related to me in any fashion is that is absolutely possible with anyone. That is our true essence. And what that is all about is realizing that the separateness and the illusion that is me against a competition with others and all of that is keeping us away from the beauty and the power of connecting truly more and more in unconditional ways. Meaning, to me, the first step is I am here and I'm telling you that I love you and I'm putting attention to you and I'm opening my heart to you and all of that. And I don't want nothing in return except receive what I'm sending you. And I know that will change the character of our relationship if you receive it. Again, my experience.
You're such a profound speaker.
Well, life is profound. And it's not about speaking it, it's about feeling it.
Yep. If you take the time
yeah,
to notice.
Yeah, of course. Very important, you know.
You know, we have so much thing that we start to remember at everybody's speed because it's your own life. You know, some people will do a different thing. But years ago, when Raven said you live in the field of intelligence, what that mean, Raven? You know, now you start to see those particle response to your feeling, and basically they're projecting this for you. In fact, this is huge. You see, this is we are so huge that we don't know about it yet. And I understand it take time to get there because we're gonna explode. I think that our mind are not designed to go so quick with that. We're gonna just like, wow, you know.
Beautifully said, Patrick. But sometimes it comes to us kind of in subtle ways, you know, that we may not pay enough attention to it. So I'll give you an example of something that, you know, that happens to me just every day. You know, I look at the sky and the clouds in the sky give me exactly what I've been thinking about maybe the day before. Okay. That's what they gave me. Okay. And if I have had some dreams and in those dreams I've seen some beings, they start showing up in the clouds.
It's so true. So true.
So that's what I ascribe that to, that intelligence of, but because after all, you know, we say it, but you know, we go back into our daily life and we kind of forget about it. Everything is happening. There's no space. It's not just that there's no time in the way that we think of time. There's no space in the way that we think of space. Everything is happening here in whatever point, that basically collects it all, which let's call the source point. Some people call it the 0 point, whatever, frequency, whatever. Different names for the same thing. It's all happening there, basically. And all that exterior stuff, pure projections.
Well, and I was writing on this a little bit today, but humankind is evolving back to not having to have the information as knowledge, but to go directly to that field of intelligence, the source, to get all of the knowledge that we need. We don't have to know where we read it or find it in a book. We just have to ask the question and be open to receiving it, which is back to the native way and the indigenous ways of being one with our environments and everything else. So we're transitioning away from book learning and going more to experiential learning, which is how the hybrid children learn, which is fascinating.
Ray, I call that walking away from the mind. The mind is the one that needs the explanations and the knowledge. And I became aware some time ago, it doesn't really matter when that could have happened in my life. I became aware that what came first was the universe. The universe didn't know any mathematics. The mathematics and the physics is our thing to try to understand something and arrive at it. The universe was created bang like that. I won't, forget about whether it was a big bang or it doesn't matter. It was created just like that. All the possibilities were there, and mathematics was just embedded in it, but not, there was, consciousness doesn't say, well, let me create mathematics and physics first, and then we'll figure out how to put things together. No, it's not the way it happened. That's the way I see it. Anyway, so, but the human mind in particular, and I'll transcend it into, cosmic beings would probably say that they went through the same period. Their mind was ruling their world. Orion certainly, went through those kind of periods and some other ones. But we need to break from that. And somebody could say now that it is somewhat more masculine to live in the mind and little less feminine. You could, somebody could say that, but the fact of the matter is that in our ways, we all have lived far too long in the mind and not enough in the feeling nature of the heart, which is the supreme intelligence or our connecting point to the supreme intelligence. It's not really the supreme intelligence. It's our connecting point to it, basically. Anyway, that's
true. Louis, you probably know the story of Egyptian, the school of mystery. When the people die, they keep the heart and the sex organ and they put the brain in the garbage. For them, the brain is the garbage thing. They understand that, because when the baby's born, what's the first thing? Is the heart start to beat. And after that, they have a bag with the tongue start out of the heart. Like, this is why yogi, whatever, touch the tongue of the tongue and the palate and the connection, everything. This is why the school of mysteries to bring what that mean the left brain, what that mean the right brain, what that mean the heart, what that mean that balance together. This is deep, you see.
It's very deep.
You don't catch those things in 2 days. It was like a study, like 12 years on the left brain, 12 years on the right brain, the rest the heart, but they always put the brain in the garbage.
But in this moment, we are capable of doing that much, 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 much faster.
Yeah.
And when we speak, when you have done these beautiful meditations where you're bringing mind, heart coherence, I have always interpreted that bringing the mind into alignment, that the heart is the supreme intelligence, that it must synchronize with it instead of creating, the first level of separation is when the mind decided, I am the ruler of everything, and it's if I can't think it, we're not doing it.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. I have an experience one day because I was working to a place they just put the 5G antenna, and people start to say, I'm gonna be sick. I'm gonna be sick. And one day I said to those guys, 3 guys work with me. I said, come on, we sit down in the post under, and I said, you follow me, and I bring them with breathing to the heart. I tell you, the 5G start to match the heartbeat. I said, this is how powerful you are. Don't allow that to destroy you, but allow them to follow your beat.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And they never have stomach bad feeling after that. And now they said, you're weird. Yes, but I'm happy to be weird,
I am going to quote that story, Patrick. It's a beautiful thing. It's a moment of realizing a level of the power that's within that transcends the mind.
Exactly.
An early man, and through all successful societies, understood the sound vibrations and imbued all of that information into their sound and other noises and other things as well. So when people were getting the music, it was more than just the words. They were actually in connection with the spirits related to those songs, touching their ancestors and vice versa, so they could have those communications on a non-physical or a dreamscape level, and then bring all of that information in. And that's where the drumming and everything else, chanting, will help reactivate that. Even if we don't remember we even have those lives, that's why you can get affected by that stuff.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
It's so beautiful. Hey guys, I have to go, but talking about meditation, I'm working on something with drum and heartbeat, and I will get back one day to do that with you guys. You're gonna fly. I guarantee you're gonna fly.
Thank you.
And for the record, did you want to talk about your upcoming class, since we have you on video right now? I know you have to be there in person.
Yeah. It's gonna be like Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. We're gonna have to do some breathing and technique and moving it to the heart the next day. And the final day, we need to do a heart pineal third eye connected. That your third eye is connecting right to your heart. It bypasses your polarity. And that's what I'm doing. And after that, the human light body, the Merkaba, it come by itself. And it's always fascinating because that Merkaba, it's kind of, it find you. You don't find it. It find you, you see? And that's another technology as a spirit. You basically lock your spirit with yourself. We exist within the spirit, but they have so much thing like geometry and form. And because that shape fit perfectly with different dimension, if you make the shift or higher level, it's a perfect match, you see? And this is what we have to go through. I'm doing this in Canada, Ontario. If you want to fly, somebody fly, whatever, it will be amazing to see you guys there. But
is Toronto, is that where you're doing?
No, it's more Ottawa. You know Ottawa?
Yeah, Ottawa. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's close from there. We have
I understand it's the capital city of Canada.
Yeah. I'm looking to record those things one day that I can maybe share with people that they want to do by themselves. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you for your time and your sharing your gifts with us, and for bringing Azurite in. That was
we're gonna come back. Sorry if that energy is so high. He's always too high for me.
I'd like the new background, Patrick. I guess Azurite said I got something better here for you.
Yeah, but this is how those vibrations are,
That's Patrick losing his marbles.
At least they're radiantly directed to the outside world.
Yeah, but just in case tonight you might dream about those little geometry in your dream tonight, because we talk about them. Those stuff are alive, they're part of us. Call them, have fun with them.
Thank you. I'm still doing that Flower of Life exercise that you had us do a few months ago.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's amazing.
I keep finding the original piece of paper where I started making the drawings.
Fantastic. Much love to you guys,
Patrick.
And have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night. Well,
An
it's a
energetic evening.
yes. So far, it's a chat. Anybody can say whatever. And you can open your mics. Whatever. Uh, yeah, beautiful, powerful night.
I'm going to go start some tea, and I'll be back in like a minute and a half.
Yeah, yeah. Tell us later what kind of tea you're gonna have, but
It's a combination, my special
your
blend.
special blend. I
Bigelow,
knew it. That's
constant
why.
comment,
That's what I
orange and
was.
spice, and Earl Grey, equal parts.
Okay.
Now
Okay.
you know. Oh, the secret's out.
Yeah. Secrets out, and there is a beautiful flower. So I could go around. I could ask some people how they're doing, but if anybody wants to step forward and say anything,
I
that
would
would
just
be.
want to say that all of the messages being, the transmissions tonight are all uh, answers to questions that I've been asking. So it's really amazing.
Yeah, and how that happens is even more interesting, right?
Oh, yeah.
We have found over and over and over that when a channeler came, and sometimes they themselves did not know what the subject was going to be, the message that they were going to be bringing, what you just said happened. And we also have found that people who put themselves in the queue of asking a question of a channeler, and they knew the question they wanted, but by the time they got to them, that question had been answered already. And they basically either moved to a different question or, oh my God,
Yeah.
they went
When
they went into that.
when
That's
Mouse,
that's the feel, that feel working for us.
yes, when Mousy was bringing through the message about everything being sacred, that was I received a similar channeled message about that um, last Monday, and I've been focusing a lot with that throughout the week, and remembering because I think I said last time that it's like I just forgot who I am basically, and I've been in that mode for like about a decade, and it feels very good to be reawakening again and coming back to everything, like remembering things I learned even in this lifetime before and things that I learned probably whenever. And it's like a rebirth kind of, it feels like that.
Yes, yes. It's very beautiful to see that and feel it from you. Okay. So
Yay.
thank you for the honor of telling us that
Yep.
and letting us experience it.
Appreciate
Dave,
the
I
sharing.
think Dave wants to say
Sure. Do
something.
you channel?
I'm sorry.
I was asking, do you channel?
Um, I I haven't done like voice channeling in probably like 20 years, but I used to, but I mostly do writing, and it had been like probably 4 or 5 years since I had anything come through until after I first came here, and I've been speaking with Ray, and he's been helping me. Thank you, Ray. And um it was like, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, I had a message come through. They seem to kind of get my attention like once a week now.
But
And I'm also,
you gave us a message that was that you have written. You read it,
yes,
and
mostly it's writing.
very profound.
I get the writing and it just happens and I don't know what I'm writing. But they've been getting my attention more lately because I don't know, a long time ago, I used to they call it tinnitus, but I know differently. I used to call it Angel Radio Network. I mean, angels, beings, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think they matter too much. All of that. Um, and I've been getting that again, but like knowing what it is and what kind of being it is, and kind of like discerning, like, oh, this is telling me this, and hearing the different frequencies. It's been interesting to kind of, I feel like they're playing with me. It's been fun.
I love that.
And, and
I wanted to just say, on behalf of Wendy and myself, thank you once again for having us. Louis, I think were talking about the idea of seeing the energy and what it would look like. And I just wanted to comment that if you could imagine it, then it's something that already exists within you. and you might want to take some time to explore the idea of actually doing that and what it would actually look like. And just within your meditations, just use your imagination to see what it would look like, visualizing the energies. I mean, I know people can see auras and energy in different ways, but in whatever way that you were imagining the idea that you were talking about, you should try it, because that's sort of how we have our gifts revealed to us. And if you can't imagine it, then that's not yet available to you. And groups like this the sharing gives other people ideas to imagine those same things for themselves. So just by the nature of us participating, your imagination and sharing those ideas is also opening up those powers, so to speak, for all of us, if we just want to take those ideas and run with them. So I just wanted to share that idea with you. Thank you.
I could use some of that, because earlier this week, the hybrid children told me that they were playing with rivers of energy, but rivers wasn't right. And they said it's like streams of consciousness. Streams is not right. That's not what they are. And they tried to give me the picture, and they just got frustrated. Not really frustrated, but they realized that it was an insurmountable task, and they gave up. And it was like, oh, it's too far beyond any concepts that you might have. I'm like, okay, but thank you for that sharing, Dave. And I love that Tinnitus is the Angel Radio Network. I'm going to use that going forward. And Heidi, speaking of and thank you for doing my job and asking Jennifer about her channeling. But did you have the impulse tonight to bring anyone through, since you are here? Just asking.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. I didn't know I was doing your job. I was curious.
It's all of our jobs. Thank you for stepping up.
I haven't met Jennifer before, so when she mentioned that, I was like, oh, that's exciting to hear. And then about the ringing, sometimes I don't know if anybody else gets this, but if you ever get a little bit of pressure, and then I'll be like, okay, does anyone want to say something, or is there a message? And yeah, so usually it's personal. But I really like what Dave was saying, because I feel like sometimes our gifts come in and we're like, what is this? But I think also sometimes once we can imagine it happening, it does. I just had that experience because I don't normally see auras, but I saw mine this morning. And my ceiling is white, and I was looking up, and from the one eye, the bridge of my nose was between the ceiling and my eye, and I saw a very clear aura. And I know I saw it because later I couldn't see it. And so that was fun. So I think just, because I've known of it before, I was able to. And then also it was on one of the cards. I have a Reiki deck. And when I was flipping through it, the one on aura, I stayed on that one a little longer. And so that's kind of telling me right now that maybe I need to work with that card a little bit and meditate on that card. So.
And nice northern lights behind you while you're talking about your aura.
The Earth's aura. So, but yeah, no, I hadn't thought about bringing anyone in. But if something pops up.
Okay, I'm just curious, because I had beings, and ever since I did that Lionsgate open invitation, then I've had plenty of activity, we will say. And then when I found out that Chuck wasn't going to be joining us tonight, I was like, well, I can try to get somebody. And I'm like, I really wasn't planning on channeling. And then all of these beings just kind of said, well, I can come through, including the barrel shaped being, which Akasha told me was too alien for us to even conceive about. It's too foreign for us as humans to imagine. And a prickly barrel cactus that has bear qualities was about as best as they could get. but but it's there were plenty, and I was just told there are plenty of beings that will come through. And a group came through, the same group that came through before, that wanted a session, that told they didn't even bother with names. And they came through while Mousie was doing her channeling. And they gave me the same physical symptoms, which I had forgotten because there was a lot going on. And they're like, hey, we're back. Remember this? I'm like, oh. And so that if you saw me on the thing, I was doing this because that's how they told me to call them in. Like somebody came up behind you and pushed on your shoulders. And so I did that. And they're like, okay, now that we're here. And they were just sitting back and enjoying everything.
Are they still around?
They
Yeah.
Anybody, and I'm not sure who may come through, but there are beings around. So I can bring.
Well, don't try to bring anything. Let's see what shows up.
Let's just roll with that then. And in our ways, the most playful beings win out. Yes, we have come to you before, and no, we are not the beings you expect. And we are not the expectations you as beings have. For we do not need your reality to have your experiences in the energetic ways in which you express them. We just do not get that full expression in your reality's expression of them. So for us, this is a rather unique and opportune and joyous exploration into the humanity that you know. And we shall continue to please ourselves as it is desirous to have these interactions, which are open not only enough to receive the energies and the messages which are contained in some ways, subtle ways, but to have you be open to such future explorations, to have your curiosities piqued about, can this happen to me? And of course, the answer is, well, we started to say, hell no, but that isn't exactly true. It is just for the sake of humor. But of course it is. Not in this particular fashion, format, energy, vibrational frequency range, but your own special connection is always waiting for you in more ways and depths and angles and means than you can imagine. And each of those connections breeds more opportunity for other beings to step into the expansion consciousness that you have created by allowing these interactions, each one carving out in ways your physical mind can comprehend new space for others to come in and see what they have found. Now, this is a new way and not the most pleasant way of looking at your brains being carved out, but that is not really a physical representation. It is more of a humorous expression, we hope, because we purposely chose that so it would not trigger any childhood traumas in you guys. Now, we have come to say our piece, and having said such peace and wishing all of you peace, we are open to sharing a piece of our mind further by answering questions you may or may not have, depending on our mood.
Who wants to step forward with questions, please?
Well, we can't go first.
Christiana.
Hello and welcome, and thank you for the co-creation, and we love the humor.
And thank you.
Yes, my pleasure. If we wanted to somehow imagine you, how would you describe yourselves, please?
Forgive us, but the cat does not find ourselves humorous. That is okay. We would describe ourselves to you as whatever you imagine we are. For if you have, let's just say, how do you picture the helium inside a balloon? That is what we are. If you get any impetus of what that might be, then you are closer to revealing what we are in a more energetic sense. But when you do not have form in your ways, and you do not need form for expression, such as your air currents, you interact with them and they with you, but they are assumed when it is all really a make-believe playground you have participated in with your other playmates. So our representation to you is all mental anyway, so you might as well make up something which delights and brings a smile to your face, and hopefully that will be representative of the encounters we have with you. And for those of you who may not have understood or realized, this is what we go by the misnomer of the Usol. And yes, it is us all. For what else could it be?
Thank you very much. That was a lovely answer.
We are delighted in your authenticity.
Anyone else? You can ask just about any question.
Hello. I have a question. I'm wondering if you have any insight about like different like clair aliens, like smelling certain things and eyes watering. If you have any wisdom to share about these things that I'm experiencing.
You do understand that you choose these experiences, and all experiences, like you would paint from a multi-dimensional paint store, matching the colors, attributes, energies, essences and other things for your physical expression. And then you try them on and figure out how best to move on to the next one and learn as much as you can during those times in limited fashions, which are rippled out infinitely as necessary from those decision points. Now, your particular question is, as we knew and know, and you know, best answered by you, for we can only lead you to the field of intelligence mentioned earlier, which you chose those from. And you know why you have chosen those, and why you have chosen to transform them in your own special ways to put your stamp on them, to remind yourself of your unlimited powers and ways. There are other meanings you may import, for it is a multi-layered answer. But again, the deeper meanings are within you and best sourced there. And we recommend that you continue to use the melodies which bring about the clarity you seek, for they will help others be guided to you so that you may utilize those energies in a more efficient fashion as you allow.
Thank you. I understand. Thank you so much.
And the beat goes on.
Any other questions or comments? I have a question about the area that I'm in. There is a park by the upper bay, which it's known as Felipe Park. And in the waters and in parts of that land that occupies the park, I believe that there is a galactic portal and possibly ships that actually operate underground and enter and exit through water, of course, etherically. Is there any information that you could provide to me about that?
The energies there are dangerous in a physicalized expression for humanity. So there are comings and goings in many places, depending on factors we will obscurely say. But inserting that knowledge and those vibrational qualities into your temporal time is not in your way or relevant for your understanding, other than to substantiate the feeling and the notion and the wisdom which has come to you concerning it. Understand that the information is not, of course, from a physicalized being, but from a portion of you which has a broader understanding of such matters, we shall say, which tinkled a bell in your ear to say, we are here, whether you sense us or not.
I see. I find it interesting that at the edge of the park, as the water meets it, uh, which is probably around 4 to 5 feet in depth immediately, uh, dolphins come on a daily basis and skim a portion of the littoral uh, that faces that would be facing towards the east. And if you happen to be so lucky as being there around the time that they normally do it, certain time of the year, that's around 4:30 in the afternoon, you are going to see a dolphin that you could almost touch. I find that interesting that that would happen there.
Understand that these are all energetic representations in the physical realm. You have chose to view them from within in ways. And as such, they assume the qualities and attributes and in ways energetic signatures which are more easily translated or absorbed by the limited consciousness you are utilizing to experience and grow from in this way. So, if you were we are going to use a term, more profound being, only for clarification and not indicating that there are such things. And you appeared in a physical way, you would assume a creation which would be accepted and allow multiple perspectives of growth and appreciation as those opportunities are explored and never wasted. So as you perceive different beings in different guises in your imaginary world, try to see beyond them. Try to envision that energetic sequency, the frequency of each emanation from them. And although it will take losing a portion of your physicalized perception to do so, to hold it in your minds, especially at first, you can train yourselves, and your future generations will be trained to see more of that quasi-physical qualities which make such experiences border on the ethereal. Thank you for your sharing.
Thank you. Thank you for your answer. Heidi is next.
I have a question about masculine and feminine energies. When I was in Peru, they gave the Inca teachers gave us an assignment, a group of us, to individually go and connect with a tree and ask the tree, are you masculine or feminine? That's all they told us to do. So we all did that. And the next day we compared notes, and 4 of us got the same answer word for word. I am neither and I am both. And I asked the tree, why am I perceiving you as feminine? And the tree answered, because the perceiver perceives what they need. And I said, why do I need to perceive you as feminine? And the answer was, because you do not feel safe around masculine energy. But remember that from me, you are receiving both masculine and feminine energy. I was also told that I needed to balance that, and I needed to look to the masculine energy to balance that within these energies within myself. And I'm wondering if you have any insight, because one other thing that the tree said, I am complete. I am neither and I am both, and I am complete. And so I would like to become more complete in a balance of masculine and feminine energy. And I'm wondering how, or is there a way I can turn my thoughts towards that, my intention toward that, something I can do?
Oh, we can help you out immediately. Poof! It is done. You are complete. You are a perfect balance of masculine and feminine energy. You need no longer look. You need no longer search. You are the shining example of that balance, of that equation which supremely balances 2 of the major forces of your physical realm and spirit. And we do not say this in jest, totally. We say this because it is true. It is you. You are already there. That is one of the major lessons which you have come to teach yourself. That you are all of these things. It is the belief that you are not, which is the lesson to learn, which is the reflection you are getting. That is where you understand that all deeper meanings are already in you. You start to understand and accept that the ways of knowing have changed. The way of searching is obsolete. The flow of synchronicity is your divine right. And we thank you for bringing that forth, as this is a common misconception amongst humans and others, that what you believe you are not in your belief, in what you allow to transpire, in the foundation that you build upon. And with a thought, a vocalized poof, it all changes. You have that power. You must merely click that light on and look at yourself in that new mirror and be pleased at the loving growth you have enabled in one of your instants, in one of your moments of courage, in one of your revealings, a remembrance that, oh yeah, I forgot. Now I know. Thanks for reminding.
I think there's still something there because I still feel, and I know you're saying it's simply my belief, but I feel like I'm still processing some of this because there's still moments when I am reminded of an old masculine paradigm that has been circulating in society for a very long time. And that's where when had those experiences, that's kind of what I look to because that seems to be where I feel uncomfortable. So I guess that's what I'm still processing. So I don't know if maybe I just need to set an intention then to
May we redirect how you phrase what you are communicating in our understanding? In that, not that you are processing, that you are receiving a energetic gift which must be phased in over time. Not that you haven't done it, not that it doesn't represent you, but you have chosen to accept it in this physicalized realm. And to do so all at once would not allow you the full experience of learning the multiple nuances which are entailed in the path of exploration you have chosen. All of your statements are true, of course, for you, but how you look at them may make the energetic application or integration flow a little easier, we will say, into your chosen methods of expression.
All right, thank you.
And you are insightful. There are
Christiana.
Hello again. In these exciting times we're living in, I am piecing, the puzzle pieces together with my limited understanding of my existence and reality and all this. But today, through synchronicity, it came to my awareness, this star of Ishtar. And I realized that I was drawing this in my younger years. And recently I was also told that there's some connection to Anunnaki and Sumerians. And I feel that there are connections with me. Are you allowed to comment on that?
We suggest you play with all potential thoughts and see how they resonate with you. We also believe that you should not be so judgmental of your younger self or the you were yesterday, for you are expanding and growing through every thought, through every partial heartbeat of your magnificent form. But the connections which you may have or may not have come to you for a reason. And we shall let those reasons be for you to unveil. But rest assured, you will not have many years to wait before they are answered. If you have not realized that you had them all the time before that. But follow your impulses, follow your impulses, follow your excitement. You've already noticed them.
Indeed. Thank you very much for the reminder.
Thank you, Usol. That's all the questions that we have tonight. We appreciate you coming through tonight.
And we appreciate the perspectives, which are, of course, more than you realize. And this opportunity to interact in this way is novel in its expressions. And we have figured out ways to not be so tough on the channeler now that we have help comings and goings. This is not our chosen form of expression, but it does serve a growth purpose for all involved. And we thank you for giving us this opportunity to bridge and impress upon you the energies and the messages underneath the messages, which shall ring through and to you in the time you most desire them to make their presence known. And we leave you until we find our way before you again. Thank you.
Welcome, Ray.
My lower extremities are vibrating, but that energy's got to go somewhere. They puzzle me. I don't know why. I mean, I didn't know why they just didn't come in, and they weren't the beings who were unnamed who I thought was going to come in, because that's who came in before.
What's USOL? I have of light, but I didn't know what US was.
It's a play on words for us all.
Us all. Oh, okay.
Yes, us all. So they said you can call us Usol is the nomenclature we wish for you to utilize. You know, just being funny. And then 3 days later, they're like, I figured it out. I'm like, it's us all. And they were like, you got it. And they're like, or whatever you think it is. And I'm like, well, you sons of bitches, they're not going to come clean because they're having too much fun playing with us, playing with it. It's just so it doesn't matter to them. It's just, like I say, these are the Usol are the old guys in the Muppets that are in the balcony abusing everybody on the performers. That's who they are. That to me is their representation. There is love underneath every barb, but it's meant to hit a funny bone. So, you know, it's, and I get their humor came through rather clearly tonight, or more clearly, I would say, than it has in the past. Because before, since I introduced him as humorous, then they decided to tone it down, so I wasn't so humorous. That's a joke on me.
That's right.
Which is, of course, fun.
They were being very humorous with you. Yeah. You know, I just noticed that at this juncture, we have actually more girls here than guys. We don't generally equal out, that's for sure. You know, we got Wendy and of course Dave on that side, and we have Christiana, Jennifer, Heidi, Ray, and myself. So Heidi, we're making an attempt to balance out things.
And Heidi, I have to tell you that there are things which you are not allowing yourself to experience so you can learn them. Because they were saying, "Hey, yeah, this is your reality. This is what you are." And then you were kind of like, "Yeah, good luck getting all that through." And so you were purposely not supposed to absorb a lot of that stuff because you'll get it.
Yeah.
So, but because I was like, there's a bit of an incongruency here because this is not, and they're like, just shut up and sit down. We're in the performance now. I'm like, okay. So,
So I'll get it later.
yeah,
Well,
but
I was thinking
that's
there,
not what,
maybe I just need to work on, I mean, we're supposed to overcome our fears, so that can be part of the lesson. And, being fear of not having a voice or fear, because when masculinity, my experience with some masculinity is that, like I don't have a voice, or someone gets an opportunity that,
You're talking about chauvinism and that sort of thing?
yeah,
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 yeah, yeah.
just yeah, and so I find I didn't realize this, but I find that I look at most men that way, expecting that kind of behavior,
Yeah.
because I've experienced that incarnating
So
as a woman. I
I
experienced
I
that.
am gonna call that a relatively low level masculinity.
Yeah.
And so when we talk about divine feminine and divine masculine, that's a very different thing
Yes.
altogether. So I am going to describe a couple of attributes of the divine masculine. When you go to the circus, the old time circuses, they always have these couple of masks that held the center very strongly. And most people just did not even want to see because they were interested in what was happening on the stage or the stages of the circus. Masculine energy at a more divine level has that quality. It's doing the work. It's not controlling anything. It's
Holding
just
space.
doing and holding the space.
Yeah.
Now, I am going to say that another attribute is to hold the space so that the feminine, which is naturally more intuitive and more flowing with the energies, can do its work because it is more easily more connected to everything that there is, the all that is. But as I say that, I remind myself every time that inside of every one of us, independent of what appears to be when we look at the mirror or the storylines that we have in our lives, uh, we are both, and we are, when we connect to the divinity of the masculine and the feminine, uh, everything else is just low level storytelling. And we have to start detaching from it because that's where the traumas have been.
Well,
Okay.
we tend to see, so as I was saying, I tend to look at all, like most, or I tend to expect that kind of, stuff from most men. And there are some men that are very balanced in their masculine and feminine, and they don't assume, they don't, they do allow that. They allow that space to see what they're looking at, you know. Um, and I've also learned that we tend to be bothered by what we see in others because it's in ourselves. So
trigger.
what I'm bothered by that I'm expecting or seeing in others is actually something that I need to be dealing with in myself. And so that's why I'm saying I don't think that my masculinity is not of that completely of that divine nature, of that divine masculine nature.
Yeah,
Have you gone into the triggers though? Because obviously, if you're getting that reflection back, then that's what they're trying to teach you is go back. I love what Ryoka said. He said, "Okay, I'm okay. I understand that I have these triggers. Take me back to the first occurrence." And if with that intention, he said that is very powerful
Mm.
because you can go back and find out that this happened when you were 2 or 3 years old and you never knew and you didn't know how to express it. So you were never able to resolve it and nobody else could help you because they didn't understand, or if they did, they didn't help. So, and I
It
got to
doesn't
tell
have to be, it
go ahead.
doesn't have to be a male that expressed that energy.
no,
Yes, that's
For
correct.
me, it was my mother.
exactly.
She
It could be a
expressed,
female. In fact,
yeah,
I've
she
seen some
expressed
females
a
that,
lot of masculine energy.
right. I have seen females that actually have more masculine energy that I ever seen on anybody, you know?
Mhm.
And
It's just
and
the
I
way it is.
and I really wish that I could have a soundtrack of what the Usol sound like behind the scenes, because as soon as Heidi started to ask her question, they're like, "Oh my God, she asked a tree. How can we follow this up? Oh my God, she must really think we're something. We know more than this tree. How about that, guys? How about that?" Oh yeah, she got the same answer from a bunch of people, and they don't believe that. They want to check with us now. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's not what I was doing. I wasn't.
They
I
should
know
be,
that, but
I already know that the four of us got the same answer. It was absolutely, I mean, we were all looking at each other going, oh, okay, this is real.
yeah, but that's what's going on in my head while
Um,
they're here. That's why they had me laughing so hard at the first time that they came in. I had to leave a Zoom seminar because it was serious. They were talking about serious personal growth subjects, and I couldn't stop laughing out loud because they had all this stuff. They're like, "Oh, come on, let us talk to all these people." And I didn't know who any of these people were. I just happened to join this self-improvement semanar because it was
oh,
free. And a friend of
you're right.
mine was,
You should have stayed with them, you know? I mean,
oh, it would have been hilarious.
that's right.
But
You know, you would have been a famous guy in that group.
hey, don't tempt them, please, because they're a little bit mischievous enough, I will say. If that didn't come out tonight already. Yes, Christina?
Well, yes, but I mean, how often from how many beings do we hear not to take things too seriously? Maybe that's exactly what would have been needed to such a serious, people thinking, oh, we have to try and do this and do that. So maybe it would have been the right thing.
It was hilarious. And had I done it, I'm sure it would have still been hilarious, but I've never would have been able to talk to that friend again. I mean, she's presenting to, another 9 or 10 people. And all
Mhm.
of a sudden, I just happen to bring in a channeled being who wants to be funny just because he wants to talk to everybody. Oh, hi, everybody. Yeah, I thought we'd just come in today and interrupt everything for you. As fun as that sounds, that really I didn't think was my role at that particular moment. But because you thought of it, it happened. That so one of my probables took that and ran with it. And at some level we'll figure out how that ended up. I'm excited about that. Thank you.
Well, there's only ever one in the room, right?
Exactly. Exactly. And so, how much of Usol is really in the field of Ray?
That is not for me to determine. That
And
is for
well,
you
not for
guys to
you.
determine.
Yeah.
Or guess. I'm
Yeah.
not telling.
Yeah. Guess. Yeah. Absolutely. It's just a guess.
But I do have
Anyway,
my
next
bag ready.
week we're gonna have Heidi channeling. Is that
Yes.
you're doing it in the first slot, I
She's
think.
back.
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, who's in the second slot?
Second slot. Oh, okay. So at 7:30.
No, who's in the second slot?
Oh
I'm
no,
also in the first.
at this point, I'm not sure who's in the second slot because we have had some people that have been sick.
Ah,
but we'll come forward with a second slot person for sure.
So Heidi, if you
Yeah.
were talking to the Shar would ask you, when are you going to decide to act as a balanced being that you prefer to act as?
Right.
Like,
That's a
when would
good
you like to start?
question. Yeah. When am I going to start?
That's all
I
it
think I'm
takes.
still
And
working some stuff out because I still think it's outside of me.
yeah, I think also Usol's answer is suggesting that you could do an immediate quantum jump into the version of you that has mastered every bit of it.
Yep. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that. I'm glad I asked the question.
Well, we're glad
And
that
I'm
you asked the
glad I've
question.
kind of pushed it
Because,
too.
I mean, you could take, the subject that you had is one, but, you could take many other subjects that we have, whatever, we have some, we're not confident about it. It's the same thing. It's actually the same thing.
Jennifer, would you like to share a little bit about your story or background, or save it for another day? It's, whatever you prefer, but we definitely have the crowd that's would appreciate.
Well, Jennifer has a possible great opportunity too next week to come prepare, in her ways, whatever that is at that point, and give us, at least half an hour of,
Whoa,
yeah,
no pressure.
no pressure. No, it's an invitation. It's not a pressure thing,
Well,
Jennifer.
are you asking me to channel? Because I think I'm ready for that.
Okay, that's exactly what we're saying. Exactly. I mean, and it could be half an hour, whatever. So it's an invitation to step
I
forward.
I feel like it's more so much is happening so quickly, which is not unusual. I real quick, I'll just say that I had a lot of my gifts scared out of me. That's basically what happened.
Sure.
I told the wrong people certain things. I was diagnosed with a lot of things that I know aren't true, and they've even been undiagnosed by other doctors and whatnot. So I had to discern, who to share what with, and you know, um, I had a shattering, and it's interesting because a week prior to the big incident, I was channeling and I said, "Do not lock the vessel up," and oops. But I learned a lot, and in my culture, there is a vision quest that can happen at a certain age, any age really, where you don't eat or sleep for 7 days. And during this time, I didn't eat or sleep for 7 days. I wasn't even aware. I was everywhere. Um, when I came back to my body, I was terrified. I was traumatized. I became afraid of every gift I ever had and was told and instilled, every negative belief was just absorbed and latched onto. I know I chose all that for a reason. When I was younger, I had a supportive grandmother and many people who told me, you have these gifts. My culture has always been very supportive of these gifts. We're medicine people. We're not crazy. We're not, all those terms. And I had to go through this big thing. And I worked on a lot and I still am going through it. But even in the last couple weeks, it's just been like, wow, like she's back. We're so back. And I just, I mean, I've always kept my crystals. I've always done my meditations and things like that, just taking these little baby steps because, if I go too woo woo, I'm scared of that. But now I'm like, no, I'm not because I, I I've been struggling to fit
Mhm.
into this box that I don't belong in. And I don't know. It feels like a rebirth. That's what I said. And the more, everything that's happening to me isn't new. I'm like, okay, I remember when this used to happen, and now I'm not afraid of it. So now I can help people again. And, it's just,
Yeah.
it's been fun. My cards, it's been a long time since somebody called me and asked me for a reading, but I had someone call 2 days ago. Do you still do them? And I'm like, well, yes, time. So it's it's all happening. And it starts in a dream always. Anytime it ever happened for me, it always started with a dream. And a month ago, I had this dream again, so vivid. And I said, oh no. My first reaction was fear. And then I thought, no, wait, this is another opportunity, just like before, every other time before. And it's been wonderful. I'm so thankful to randomly find Ray on YouTube because it's like, wow, like it's a home. It feels like with your group, I'm like, this is what I've been looking for such a long time, that I've been missing parts of myself. You know, certain people you can say things to, certain people you can't. I actually found a friend last year. He was one, he's still here with us, but he passed away over this summer. He was the only person I could talk to about this kind of thing. So he kind of was helping to open up and make me realize I don't have to be afraid. This guy's talking about synchronicities and all these different things. And when he passed, it was almost like, okay, now you're that person, you be that person now. So thank you
You
for
have
letting me share.
you have more help available to you as a result of that. Well, may I say that first of all, there's no woo-woo thing that you could say that's going to surprise. Well, it may surprise us, but we embrace it.
Yes, I'm learning that.
Yeah.
Mousie
So
was like
so
a
you
breath of fresh air.
we go home and a little later we said, "Did you hear what Jennifer said?
Yes,
Wow, wow."
yes. Yeah, Mousie
we
was like, yeah, that she was me in my 20s.
there you are.
I
Well,
wore fairy wings. I was the weirdo. And then I shoved it away. And that was
Sure.
silly of me.
we're
But
glad you're back. And
yes,
Mousie
I
just
needed to
started,
do
yeah,
that.
3 months ago, she was told by her higher self, you got to quit reeling yourself in and just let yourself go. So she started being more public and she was led here. And my intuition does an excellent job of picking who comes and goes for the most part, as far as my ego is concerned. It's really worked out well. I mean, your higher self brought you here to get the help that you needed so you could jumpstart the missions that you have coming forth. And that's like when they were talking, when Christiana asked her questions, Usol was like, can we really tell her? Can we tell her? Can we just go ahead and give her all this information now? And they're like, you cannot do that. This is for her to understand and to have it released to her in her own time. Because it's not like you're not going to be in connection with those energies, but it's not up to them to tell you and provide you details. But that's behind the scenes shit that they like to tell me. It's like they show up for an Easter egg hunt and they're like, come on, let me tell everybody where every egg is. No, let me tell them what's in it too, so they can avoid the shit they don't want to pick up. They're like, just let this thing. And that's what is
Yeah.
going through my head while they're here.
Yeah.
When Mousie
Interesting.
brought through the messages about accepting yourself, I was like, that's for me.
Right. Beautiful message, right? So Jennifer, 7:30 next Sunday,
Sunday, 7:30.
Eastern Standard Time. I don't know what time zone are you in, Jennifer?
I'm in Eastern. I'm just curious
East-
about the date. It is the 31st.
31st.
31st. Yeah. Does that work?
Yes.
Okay. So
Excellent.
you got it.
For you, or do you want
Set-
the earlier one? Because I'm Pacific time.
Which one is better for you? You're better
I'm
having the
Pacific
earlier.
time. I had chosen the earlier one, but I'm Pacific time, and since you're Eastern, it seems like it might work better if you go first, or would you prefer to go second?
It doesn't matter. Because you're 3 hours.
What she's saying is
It'll
that
be later for me.
it
You
will be
wanna go to
later
bed
for you.
earlier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so if
I will take the first
The first
slot
session,
then.
6:30,
Yeah.
and Heidi, you take the 7:30 then.
yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
And
Okay.
can I point out Christiana's beautiful cat in the background that just came in and held space for Jennifer's story? It was really beautiful.
Thank you for bringing this up. I noticed the same, and not only that, she closed her eyes a bit, which is like, these are kisses from a cat, So I think she really loves you.
Yeah, her paw was in such an unusual position at first. Did you see that?
Yes,
And I was like, oh, we've got something going on here. What a beautiful thing, gift that she brought.
yeah. Thank you.
And the Usol were not really thrilled that the cat told them that they were not funny.
The cat rules the game.
Which of course, I mean, all of this stuff that they're saying is hilarious, but in the moment, that's why I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I could just record this soundtrack and just play this back for everybody because it's funnier than any of the shit that's coming out.
But you're feeling the emotions of it too. Like you're feeling the like at least, well, I'm assuming, I'm sorry.
I don't have time. It's like 15 sentences in 2 seconds, and they're going back and forth because they're having a conversation like I'm not here, knowing that I'm here.
Yeah, but they know you. They know they got you neutralized. You know, you gotta sit it.
It's well, have you ever seen Mystery Science Theater 3000?
Yeah.
Okay, now you get. Oh well, Heidi never has. Basically, it's two made up individuals and one human who is made up as something that is not human in some ways, watching bad films and critiquing and poking fun at all of it.
Yeah.
Like we're talking like they have science fiction where these people are wearing hats and they're exploring the bottoms of the oceans. And there's all these white guys with no special equipment on with hats. And they're like, oh my gosh, the super glue removal failed. They're still stuck with those hats. And, you know, all kinds of stuff. There's just three individuals that are doing nothing but poking fun at these movies the whole time. That's kind of what this is like. And I'm not saying it's not joyous and absolutely fabulous energy. I just wish I could share it in a more direct sense. So somebody help take these people out of my head and share them.
Somebody will. I'm sure.
This is interesting. I just remembered. It was August 31st. I think it was 2004. I know it was August 31st because I just actually heard her just tell me. My teacher has passed on. That was my first channeling. She pushed me into it that day. So this is all coming full circle.
August 31st.
August 31st, I believe
That's
it
what
was
we're talking
2003
about
or 4.
here.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So you see,
And that's the day. So
there's
I'm
another
just like,
message.
okay,
Very
here we
powerful
go.
message.
It's
Yeah.
on now, right?
Yeah. There you have it. You know, a beautiful note to take this to the end of the evening. We thank all of you for being here. Uncle Ray left us already, but you know he probably needs to take a little pit stop or what have you. It's a good time for us to say goodbye. Christiana, as always, thank you. Jennifer, we'll see you next week, and thank you. Heidi, thank you, and we'll see you next week. Wendy and Dave, oh my God, you know, such beautiful people everywhere. That's all that I see. Anyway, we'll see you. Remember High Five Thursdays and Sundays. Good night.